Oh, hello. So what I'd like to talk to you about today is FLP Social. Some of you, I'm sure, are using it. Some of you will have heard of it, some not. Can you raise your hand if you've heard of it? So quite a few of you. And how many are actually using it? Right, a couple of you. Oh, it's rubbish. That means I've done a rubbish job. So I'm here to start doing a better job. Okay. For a bit of history, if you've never heard about it, if you don't know about it, this comes back to a conversation that I had with Bob in 2015. At that time, Forever was growing in the UK and Ireland. Forever was growing really quite dramatically. Sat down for lunch with Bob, and he was talking about what was the reasons for it. And he said, really, he could only put it down to, a couple of things. There were some new products that had come out, but fundamentally, people had started using social media. And I'm not saying they were using it in the right way, but they were using social media to grow the business, and it had a dramatic effect. So social media was offering a really big opportunity for FBOs to grow the business, but at the same time, his words to me were, I think the biggest threat to the business in the UK is social media. So great opportunity, but at the same time, it was a really big threat. We kind of tossed around some ideas, and we came up with this idea where we could create a platform, which is a Forever platform, that could help people to use social media in a way that was good for the brand. It was good for the businesses, it was good for the brand. So we created FLP Social, and we released it in July of last year. So we've had just over a year of experience of developing the platform. Around the UK, so some in Ireland, around the UK and in some other countries, we've got, there's been probably 2,000, 3,000 people that have used FLP Social at one time or another. Generally, there's anywhere between 1,000 and 2,000 people posting through it every week. So we've got a lot of insight into what makes people successful, what really makes it work. And there are some people that use it really very, very successfully. They're growing their business, they're bringing on teams, and at the same time that in some areas the business is really struggling to get some traction, their businesses are growing. So what we've been doing over the last few months is talking to those business owners, and they're sharing with me, they're sharing with us everything that they're doing, and I just want to kind of bring that to you. So if you've not used it, you might like to try the things that they're doing, because it's good for everyone if you're using FLP Social to use social media in a really positive way. And one thing I want to say up front is I'm not here saying you should spend loads of time using social media. I think if there are a lot of you maybe have built your businesses over many years using traditional methods. You're meeting with people, you're talking with people, you're nurturing relationships, you're coaching people, and that is I am all about that. That's fantastic. But I don't think we can ignore the fact that social media offers another way to grow your business. And what we're trying to do with the platform is help you use social media without taking up very much time. We talk all the time to people who are saying, we use social media to grow the business, but it takes me 2 hours a week, it takes me 3 hours a week. You don't need to spend that amount of time. So we've developed the platform to enable you to have a social media presence and to have a wide social media presence over a number of different platforms, but it can take you as little as half an hour a week to put out multiple posts, and just to have that as an angle that you use to grow your business. So the things that the FBOs that are using it avidly, these I've got seven things. We've got seven things that they're saying to me. These are the ways that they use it, and these are the results that they're getting. So first of all, they see it and they use it as a tool to help recruitment. So as soon as they get somebody, I think you all run a prospects list, or it starts with a who do you know list, or I always get confused with that drink, WYKD or whatever it is. But you've got your list of people. When they are kind of nurturing those relationships at the outset, they're saying that the very fact that there is a tool that they can show, that they can demonstrate to people, it encourages them into the business. Typically people are obviously coming in to be an FBO part-time. They don't have the ability to post during the week. They're generally in the rat race, as Sarah was talking about earlier. So the fact that the tool exists, they can sit down on a Sunday evening, they can do all of their social media work, or a lot of their social media work on a Sunday evening in 10 or 15 minutes, and that lines up everything for the coming week to go out automatically. it's something which kind of overcomes one of the objections that people have. People are saying, I'm not sure whether I want to do it. Am I going to have enough time? I've got a busy life. I've got a family. I've got a job. The fact that the tool exists, that helps get people over the line. That's a fact. This is what the FBOs that are using it, this is what they're telling me. Okay, so the fact that it exists, it helps you grow your teams. The second thing is once someone says, okay, I'm going to do it, I want to become an FBO, the way that they work, they set them up with an FLP social account there and then. It doesn't, there's a free trial, no one has to put any credit card details in. So by setting them up with an FLP social account there and then, it gives them something tangible. They've got a website immediately, the system creates a website for them. Immediately they can be posting, and they're not going to know what to post. So within the platform, we've created thousands and thousands of messages that are all compliant, and they're ready to go. So they can start selecting, they can start posting immediately. Now, why is that important? They've made a decision to become an FBO. They're going to join the Forever team, and immediately they've got something to show their partner. They've got something to show their friends. So if people are saying, what are you doing that for? And we've heard all of these things. It's great. Look, I've already got a great website. I can already post. They're getting me in the game even before I've got my starter kit. So you build on the excitement, and they're telling me that helps. So once you got people over the line, that helps with the retention. You capture the moment. You build on their excitement rather than letting that excitement kind of fall away. I mentioned compliance then, and it's really important. As I said initially, when we first conceived the product, the risk was compliance-based. People were posting the wrong stuff. They were saying things they shouldn't have been saying. So we built into the platform an automatic check. So when anyone posts anything, if they mention any words or phrases that they shouldn't be mentioning, so if they mention any medical conditions, for example, you shouldn't be posting about that, how Forever cures this, that, and the other. If they put that in a post, then it catches it and it stops them from posting it. So everything that someone posts through the system is compliant, and that's very important. So the confidence that they're able to give new people coming into the business about you can get up, you can get started, you won't do anything wrong, you're not going to break anything, you're not going to get into trouble. That's important. Again, coming back to the first conversations we had with Bob, it was very important that the system is kind of educational. So, people shouldn't be posting about Forever. They shouldn't be just continually posting about products, about the business opportunity. The system is set up so that maybe 10% of the posts, if you use it right, maybe 10%, maybe even 1 in 20 of the posts are about Forever. The rest of it is just generic stuff. It's entertaining, it's amusing, it's engaging material that you can take or leave. There's tons and tons of it in the system. So first of all, we're educating people to not be boring when you post. You don't want to upset your friends. You don't want people just delisting you. So there's loads of non-Forever content as well as the more obvious kind of Forever material. Now that's important because with the way I look at it, it's like watching a film. You're watching a film on the television. You're happy to put up with, well, maybe not happy, but you're willing to put up with 20 minutes of film interrupted by 2 or 3 minutes of advertisements. And those advertisements, because you're relaxed, they just kind of sink in. That's what advertising's about. We're looking for you to do something similar on social media. You'll be posting some stuff. People will be looking at it. They'll be running through their feeds. They'll see some stuff from you. They kind of have a little giggle. It's kind of interesting stuff. And then every now and again, maybe once a week or once every few days, there'll be a post which is about the business opportunity or about a product. Something really subtle. That's the stuff that sinks in. That's the stuff that gets people interested. It piques their curiosity. And then, when they've seen that 3 or 4 times over 3 or 4 months, maybe they'll contact you. Maybe they want to get involved in buying the product or becoming an FBO. So the system is kind of, we're using it to educate people on how to use social effectively. There's kind of technical stuff that we're doing as well. So I don't know how many people use hashtags or are confident in knowing how to use hashtags, but the system kind of educates you on what hashtags will work. It'll show you how to use them and tell you what it's about. But people can use hashtags to widen their audience, and we see people, very successfully adding friends, adding followers, just through the use of hashtags. So, the system will guide people down that road. And it provides statistics. I always have trouble saying statistics. But we were able to look at every post individually, which one's got the most likes or comments or shares, and then you can save that as a favorite, and then you can continually use that type of post. So you just save it to a file, and maybe once a month, once every couple of months, you just start to update and use the same style of posts that are getting you a really good response. So it's educational from you understand what works, you understand what doesn't work, so you just stop doing what doesn't work and do more of the stuff that does. And when you do that, you're refining what you do. You get a better response as time goes by. Now, at the start, one thing that I think is really important is, I don't think people should be spending, in general, too much time using social media. Now, it may some of you may be avidly social media users, but what we're kind of looking to here are people that are not really familiar with how to use social media. Maybe you didn't grow up with it. Maybe you just don't have time. What we're trying to do here is say, okay, there is another way. You don't have to learn Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and Google Plus and all the others. You can post to all of those through the platforms. You don't have to learn all the individual platforms individually. You learn how to use the dashboard, and it will take you 20 minutes, half an hour. If you watch some of our videos, you'll see how to use it, and you'll become familiar with it really, really quickly. Once you know how to use the dashboard, you can line up a week's worth of posts in just 15 or 20 minutes on a Sunday evening. And when I say a week's worth of posts, that might be you're lining up 50, 100 posts. Now, and I'm not looking at all those being forever related. I'm not talking about spamming. I'm just talking about getting yourself some sort of social media presence. So it will save you. It's intended to save you time. It's intended to enable you to use social media without putting hours in a week. Number 6, so the impact that we're getting from people comes from them undertaking several different activities. So first of all, most people that we've kind of introduced to the dashboard, they were using Facebook. That was it. They weren't using all the other platforms. Same reason I just gave you, really. They didn't have the time, they didn't have the inclination to learn how to use all the different social media platforms, so they just didn't bother. So, what we've encouraged them to do now is to post across several platforms, because it's just as easy, it's just as quick, it's one click, and you can be sending it out to Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, all of them. One click more than just sending it to Facebook. It's as simple as that. So widening your presence has had some really interesting results. I've got a lot of people who, when they're focusing on recruitment, when they're focusing on building their teams, they say they get absolutely fantastic results from LinkedIn. How many of you are using LinkedIn now? How many of you are posting to LinkedIn? So we've got maybe 5% of the room. I'm sorry if I'm ruining it for you, 5%, by the way, but now you're going to get another 95% maybe they're going to start using it. And it's simple, right? It's a little bit of time to invest in creating the account. Once it's created, then use it. It's so simple. It's no more effort than posting it to a single Facebook group or your own Facebook profile. What we're finding is that the more you post on Facebook and Twitter, using hashtags, and there's a great little hashtag search tool in the system where you can identify different hashtags to try. But the more when you post, put 3 or 4 hashtags in, it's enabling those posts to be seen by a whole new community. So they're building up their contact list, and it's building up a prospect list. Very simply. Every post, just try the hashtags, and within the statistics area, you can see which hashtags are working really well for you. So, it's a very, very simple thing, but it enables them to grow their audience, and because they're growing their audience, they're growing their lists, and then from those lists come their prospect lists, and then they start recruiting. And I was talking to, I don't know if you know Paul Baradell, but he's one of the guys that kind of, I work with him forever. And Paul was saying to me, it's amazing how, you can use, you're not looking at social media to be a direct recruitment tool. but it builds your contact lists. And from those contact lists, over time, people start to contact you, and they become prospects, and then they join the business. And it's a long process. Nothing's going to happen overnight. But all of these little steps have helped him and are helping other people grow their business in one way or another. And interestingly as well, and I don't know if this is peculiar to Forever, but Paul called me up about 3 months after we launched the platform back last year, and he said, "Look, I need to trace this. I'm suddenly getting orders in my shop, and I don't know why." And I guess people can tick a little box where they don't have to, they can do it anonymously. And he said, I used to get an order a month, maybe 2 orders a month if I was lucky. I'm now getting 3 or 4 orders a week, and it can only be. All I'm doing differently is starting to post a little bit more on social using FLP Social. So, we know that when you do these things, you do see more business come through. So bigger teams, more orders, that's what you're looking for, right? So those of you who are using the platform now, or maybe some of you that used it in the past, take a look again, because it's changed a whole lot. Now, we thought it was great. When we released it in July, at the start of July last year, we really thought it was good. But to be honest, it was crap. It was clunky. It was, and when I look back, it's almost embarrassing. We've put a year's development into it, and every couple of months it gets upgraded, and we change this and we change that. Right now, it is really simple to use, and there's tons of content in there. So it's very, very different, and it's going to change a whole lot more over the course of the next couple of months. Now, it should be. I'm hoping that we get a big upgrade to the mobile functionality. Now, again, this might be a little bit difficult to imagine if you don't know what the dashboard does, but it enables you to take your own images, or there's a huge library of about 1 million images in the system. You can take an image. At the moment, if you're on a laptop or you're on a tablet, you can add stickers into it. You can put text into it. You can kind of create some really, really cool marketing material. As of next week or the week after, you'll be able to do all of that on your phone. So you'll be able to take a picture, you'll be able to add some little Forever kind of stickers, so badges, pins, all sorts of stuff to it. You can put some text into it, and you can post it directly to any of the social media platforms directly, or you'll be able to schedule it to go out in the future. That's a really cool thing, because obviously more and more people are doing this sort of thing on the mobile, as opposed to needing to go back and use a tablet or use a desktop. So that's going to be a big upgrade. Couple of weeks' time, there's something else going to change. At the moment, you can create a post in seconds, and you can search in the system through a big library of Forever videos. So we've got hundreds of Forever videos in there. So if you want to post a video, all very good. But what we're doing at the moment is enabling you to post a link to YouTube. Now, probably, if I were you, I wouldn't be posting a link to a YouTube video, because YouTube, at the end of the video clip, YouTube will select stuff which is related, or which they think is related to the video that's just been played, and more often than not, you risk having kind of an anti-multi-level marketing, or an anti-direct selling, or an anti-Forever video being put up alongside it. You don't want to risk that. So the last thing I would be doing is putting up any links to general Forever videos which are hosted on YouTube. All that's going to change in probably 3 weeks or 4 weeks. We're going to be introducing native video posting. Now, what that means is that rather than just posting a link to YouTube, you're going to be playing the video from directly within our system. So you post a video, so one of the Forever videos, when it appears in someone's Facebook feed, it will automatically start playing there and then. Now, the first thing that does is gives you 10 times more views. You immediately attract someone's attention. You get 10 times more views, and that means that the chances of someone engaging with you for it are multiplied 10 times. But also, when the video stops, they just continue through their feed, so they haven't been taken off to YouTube. There is no possibility of YouTube producing a list that you wouldn't want them watching. So the native video system, when it goes live, that's going to be a really big plus. We will also, probably at the end of the year, maybe into the start of next year, we're going to introducing a referral scheme. So all of you will be able to get FLP Social for free. The way it works at the moment is if you subscribe to it, there's a £10 per month charge, or I think it's £100 per year charge. But in future, the way it's looking, if you refer 3 of your friends, then you'll get a month for nothing. So if you've got a big team, if you refer 3 months worth, so if you refer 9 people to us, you'll get it for 3 months. So what we imagine is going to happen is many people, probably most people, will be getting it for nothing. And that, obviously, when you start in a business, that's another important thing for people to understand. They don't need, we understand that people don't want to be spending a lot of money, getting going. So this will give them an ideal way of getting going, bringing some people into the dashboard, and not having to pay for the system. The only other thing which I'd like to talk about is international languages. So we've now released, I think it's German, French, Italian, Spanish, and there's another 10 languages that are following on behind. So if you have international teams, or if you're looking to build international teams, then this is a great tool to be able to offer overseas. So, at the moment, the dashboard is in those languages. It's selectable. I think it's in the top right-hand corner. There's a little drop-down box, so you can choose the language that you want to use and recommend it to your people overseas. So that's about it. What I would encourage you to do, as I said earlier, it's a free trial. So if you go to flp.social, so www.flp.social, that will take you to a website, and from the website, top right-hand corner, you've got Start Free Trial. If you did that previously and you had your 28-day free trial a while ago, decided, like me, that it was rubbish, then you can do it again. So if you want to do it again, you need to send an email to support@flp.social. Just say, I had a trial last year, didn't really get on with it, can I have another trial, please? And the guys will set you up with another trial straight away. One of the other things that we're going to be doing as well is sending around to everybody probably an email introducing the platform, a little training session. We're going to start running webinars for you. So there'll be webinars over the course of the next month, and there'll probably be a regular webinar that we set up. The best way to see what you can do is to have a look at the webinar. I'm sure, like me now, you won't think it's rubbish. I'm sure you'll start liking it. So come along to the webinar and take a look. That's me. Thank you ever so much.